ready to dive into Hollywood and AI. I knew you were. We're going to uncover how AI, artificial intelligence, is already like kind of working behind the scenes in film.
And it's more than just like, those flashy special effects. You know that feeling when you watch a movie and it's like, bam, this was made for me.
Totally.
AI is getting closer to doing that, like actually using what it knows about what you like to create films just for you.
Okay, that's kind of cool, but also kind of creepy, right? That's AI in Hollywood, I guess. But rewind for a sec. Let's go back to the beginning.
Yeah, back to the beginning.
One of the big things people are talking about is AI and script writing.
Right.
Like software like GPT-4, ChatGPT, these, what are they called? Sophisticated language models.
Yeah, you can think of them.
Fed all this data, tons of text, and they can actually write scripts.
It's pretty wild. Yeah, full-on movie scripts.
So picture this. AI spits out a movie script, dialogue, plot twists, the whole thing.
It's amazing.
And then the human writers come in and do what they do best, right? Build the characters, make them feel real, add all that emotion, and come up with the iconic lines we quote.
It's interesting, though, because it's not just about making scripts faster, Studios are also really interested in this idea of using data to make movies that are guaranteed hits.
Data-driven movies, is that what you mean?
Yeah, exactly. Like instead of just going with their gut, they're using AI to figure out what audiences respond to.
So you could even end up with like different versions of a movie, each one tweaked for a different audience.
Yeah, that's what they're thinking. It could be huge for box office numbers.
So instead of just a summer blockbuster, we might get like a summer, spring, Andy fall blockbuster. You got it.
All a little bit different for different people. That's wild. But AI is not stopping at scripts, right? We've seen the crazy stuff it can do with effects.
Right.
Remember that scene mention a recent movie with impressive deepfake technology, the one where they used AI to describe the scene?
Oh, yeah, that was incredible.
Oh, that's just the beginning.
It really is just the tip of the iceberg when we're talking about visual effects and animation. Deepfakes can do some truly amazing things. They basically use these algorithms called GANs, generative adversarial networks, and it's like they put two AI models against each other.
Like a battle of the AIs.
Kind of. But the result is that they create these super realistic but totally fake images and videos. Think about it. Bringing back actors who are no longer with us.
Oh, you mean like
digitally de-aging actors, recreating iconic performances. Like, we could have a movie with a young Marlon Brando again.
Exactly.
Okay, now that's just mind-blowing. But, with every cool thing comes the what if? What about the ethics of all this? Let's say a studio wants to use a dead actor in a movie.
Yeah, I see where you're going with this.
Should they be able to do that? Especially without getting permission, I mean.
That's the million-dollar question, and it gets really complex. We're talking about someone's likeness even after they're gone.
Right.
Do they have the right to say no, or does the studio have the right to make art?
And who even gets to decide that? It makes you really think about how much things are changing, how we see art, and who owns it in this whole AI world.
It really does.
But wait, there's more. AI can even influence who gets cast in these movies.
Oh, absolutely. AI is shaking up the whole casting game, too. Picture this. You've got algorithms looking at an actor's past work, how they look, even their social media, to see if they're right for the role.
So instead of going on instinct, that gut feeling, casting directors might be looking at data and algorithms.
In a way, yes.
Doesn't that feel kind of cold, calculating?
Uh-huh.
What about those actors who don't fit the mold but have that star quality?
That's a real concern. Some people are worried that AI will make everyone too similar, favoring the actors who fit the data instead of going for raw talent. Those unique personalities.
We could lose those actors with the amazing stories, the ones who beat the odds and became huge stars.
It's true. Those stories are part of what we love about Hollywood.
Totally. And I bet actors wouldn't want their whole careers summed up by a bunch of data either. Casting by algorithm, it sounds like something out of sci-fi, but AI is already everywhere in Hollywood, even like how studios market and release movies is changing.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Think about it. Like when Netflix recommends stuff to you.
Okay, yeah.
That's not just some random list. It's algorithms. They're crunching data, figuring out your viewing habits, what you might like.
But it could get even more intense than that, right?
For sure.
Like instead of just suggestions, AI could make like personalized ads that feel like they're reading my mind.
Exactly. Imagine trailers that are different for everyone, showing you the parts of the movie you'd connect with most.
So it knows I'm a sucker for like romantic comedy set in Italy.
Haha, exactly. Or getting recommendations for screenings that are like right around the corner from you and fit your schedule perfectly. AI could even help studios decide which movies to release in which countries based on what people there like to watch.
Whoa, okay. A whole world designed just for my taste. Kind of cool, but also a little weird, right? Like,
Yeah.
does AI need to
Yeah.
know that much about me?
Yeah, it makes you wonder, how much of our privacy are we willing to give up just for a more personalized experience? And it gets even trickier when you start thinking about AI influencing what movies get made at all. If studios are only listening to algorithms, will we end up with less originality?
Will we just be stuck with sequels and remakes forever? Movies that check all the boxes but don't really have that spark?
It's a valid concern, for sure.
Well, at least the special effects will be amazing.
Speaking of special effects, AI could totally revolutionize that whole world, how we tell stories visually. We've talked about deepfakes with actors, but imagine AI generating entire scenes, even whole worlds.
Wait, so you're saying we might get to a point where we can't tell what's real in a movie and what's made by AI?
It's definitely possible.
That's kind of terrifying, but also really exciting.
Totally. It could open up all these crazy possibilities, stuff we can't even imagine right now. Think about breathtaking landscapes, fantastical creatures, historical epics that looked totally real.
Like giving filmmakers an unlimited budget for special effects.
Exactly. But of course, it also brings up new challenges, like what happens to the artists, the writers, the directors, if AI can basically make a whole movie on its own.
Yeah, is human creativity even needed anymore?
Yeah. Right. It becomes more about curating, guiding this powerful AI tool instead of starting from scratch.
Hollywood has a lot to figure out. It's almost like AI could be sitting in the director's chair, shaping the movie as it goes based on like what the audience is feeling.
That's wild. Can you imagine
Yeah.
movie endings that change depending on how people react, or characters that evolve based on what we want to see?
It'd be like the ultimate choose your own adventure, but for everyone.
Yeah, exactly. And no more arguing about plot twists or whether a character made the right choice. Everyone gets what they want.
But does that ruin it a bit? Like part of the art of filmmaking is the director's vision, how they want to tell the story. Actually, you know what? That's a whole other deep dive waiting to happen.
Totally. But even with all this futuristic stuff we're talking about, AI is already changing how we experience movies and shows right now. Think about VR, AR.
You mean like virtual reality, augmented reality?
Yeah, exactly. AI is making those experiences so much more immersive, blurring the lines between what's real and what's in the digital world.
So instead of just watching the movie, I could be in the movie. Sign me up.
Right. Imagine walking around in the world of your favorite film, meeting the characters, maybe even changing how the story unfolds.
That would be insane. Like a video game version of the movie, The Ultimate Escape. But would it be as good as that feeling of sitting in a dark theater, getting lost in the story?
That's the big question, isn't it? Will these hyper-realistic, interactive experiences kind of overshadow the magic of traditional cinema?
Man, that I asked the billion-dollar question.
And there's no simple answer, is there? But one thing's for sure. AI is here to stay in Hollywood. It's changing everything, and so fast, with all these exciting opportunities, but also some big, complex challenges.
So where does that leave us? As we come to the end of this deep dive, I'm wondering, are we watching the birth of a new golden age of film powered by AI, or are we on the edge of something totally different, something that changes how we even define cinema?
I don't know, but I'm excited to find out. It's going to be one heck of a ride.
That's for sure. And for our listeners, remember, you're along for the ride too. So buckle up, keep exploring, keep asking the big questions, and most importantly, keep watching. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. We'll see you next time.